Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Before the December 1st edition of Monday Night Raw, Triple H goes on social media and says, tonight's Monday Night Raw is going to be epic. Now, Triple H kind of says this all the time. He says, are you ready? It's going to be epic, using all of these phrases over and over and over and over again, and kind of watering down the fact that what he thinks is epic is not really epic anymore, and just a normal show is not epic, and like just making fans too amped up for something and then delivering just a regular piece of wrestling content. And then after delivering on Saturday, we had Survivor Series, and that was just an average, mediocre Survivor Series. John Cena and Dom was absolutely amazing. There were certain parts of the War Games matches that were awesome. The Mystery Man thing was kind of cool, but overall the show was just okay, right? I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 was Survivor Series. And then a couple days later on Monday, Triple H is saying, oh my God, we have so much to talk about. We have so much is happening. Monday Night Raw is going to be epic. Now, what does that do? That gives fans sort of this false sense of what might happen, that they're going to see something out of the ordinary. They're going to see the return of AJ Lee after 10 years. The Rock is going to come back. Edge is going to return to WWE. Like, fans get in their own way about stuff when they hear the guy who's writing the show, Triple H, say it's going to be epic. Now, was the December 1st edition of Monday Night Raw epic? No. But was it a really good show? Yes, it was, but some fans are going to think it was bad because it wasn't quote-unquote epic like Triple H has stated. And I want to give Triple H the benefit of the doubt. I think he's done some good things with NXT and WWE and all these types of things, but his storytelling is creative and his shows have gone stale. I mean, Survivor Series with all that star power was very mediocre. This December 1st edition, the first Raw of December, was really good. There were some really good professional wrestling matches, but since he said it was going to be epic and life-changing and oh my God, this is going to change the game forever, like, not every episode of Monday Night Raw can change the fucking game. But with that said, Triple H, you got to stop doing that, okay? Got to stop doing that. Just let the show happen, or actually create storylines and shows and PLEs that like people want to invest in, that they call themselves epic, not you having to call it epic. Like, that's just how it should work. But we saw some really good matches. We now know that LA Knight is moving on. Thank God. Thank the wrestling lord that LA Knight beat Jey Uso. We could not see another Jey Uso match, especially against Gunther. Wow, thank God LA Knight wins. I would have liked actually LA Knight to just win clean, but they're trying to run this story that Jey Uso's all in his head. He's not as good as he thinks he is, and he's not. So there's no story that needs to be run. He's not as good as a professional wrestler as he thinks he is. He has a really good entrance. He's really over with the fans. He's really charismatic. He's pretty good on the mic, but he cannot execute that well in the ring. So he's not as good as he thinks he is. So now he's got all these thoughts in his head, and will we see Jey Uso go dark? That's the potential sort of through line for this whole thing, is that Jey Uso is going to go dark. And maybe he turns on his brother. Maybe he fucks Roman Reigns up. Whatever the case may be, I think we're going to see the dark version of Yeet. Now, I don't think that's a good idea, because I don't think his babyface run has run its course. I think you just maintain Jey Uso in that sort of upper mid-card range, so fans get to see him a lot, fans get to feel his entrance, fans get to feel him come to the crowd. Like, they love that. Keep that going, but he is not. He is 100% not a world champion, and he's not world champion material, but he is upper mid-card, and his entrance is that way. So I would not let Jey Uso go into the dark side and turn heel. I would sort of use this sort of frustration streak as a way to improve and grow and for him to become better. That's what I would do. But we see LA Knight move on. LA Knight is in the finals. And then speaking of the other tournament match, we had Solo and Gunther. And to be honest, I really was not fired up about this match because of the styles. But I think Solo did a really good job in this match. Of course, Gunther is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet, and their class actually was really good as a heel versus heel. We saw some cheating on both sides. Gunther ends the match by saying, like, well, and then kicks him right in his wiener and does the power bomb, right? And so I thought this was a really well executed match. A very very impressed by what Solo Sikoa did. Like, even in that match, it sort of changed my heart. Like, oh, he could definitely win. Solo versus LA Knight, that would be pretty cool. But Gunther's the best. Gunther's my favorite wrestler. Now we're going to see Gunther versus LA Knight for the championship, and then the winner goes on to face John Cena on December 13th, which I think is going to be Gunther. I think it's going to be Gunther. We're going to see Gunther versus John Cena. I've basically predicted that since the very beginning. Then you're going to see Gunther retire John Cena in his very last match. Then you're going to see Gunther go on to face Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania 42. And that's a building of a star right there. So you had those two matches were awesome. You had a tag team match, which was excellent. Dragon Lee, AJ Styles, The New Day, beautifully executed. The finish was one of the coolest finishes I've ever seen. He does a double stomp. He bounces off the ropes right into the Styles Clash, bomb, boom. Fantastic match. Again, New Day don't get enough credit for how good they are. One of the best tag teams of all time. One of the best tag teams in WWE history. Beautifully well-executed match. Timing, pacing, excellent, was great. AJ Styles is so fucking good. It's unbelievable. And then I think the real highlight of the night, though, wait, before I get into the real highlight of the night, I would absolutely be all in on the fact that Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer would battle out. I'd love that for her first real feud. Get Nikki Bella out of here. Don't need it. Okay, see ya. Brie Bella doesn't need to come back. Let's use the women we have on the roster now who are better than any of the other women in the previous history ever. And then we have Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer battling out for that women's world title. And then eventually Liv Morgan wins it back because she's the standard bearer. Like, she is the deal. Everyone loves her. She plays a great character. She has great facial expressions. Right before she kicked John Cena in the balls, it was just like perfectly executed stuff. Liv Morgan is a superstar. And I think Stephanie Vaquer can be as well. And I think that's a really good pairing. So let's run with that, WWE. And then the supreme highlight of the night was Braun Breaker's fucking epic promo against CM Punk. That's what happens when you spend an absurd amount of time with Paul Heyman, backstage, on screen, traveling. Like, you become a superstar in front of our eyes, and that is what Braun Breaker is doing. That is what Braun Breaker has done, and I pray to the wrestling gods that in the January 5th, I think the 1-year anniversary on Netflix show, that he beats the snot out of CM Punk and becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. WWE should pull that trigger immediately. If not, they have CM Punk win, then they have Braun Breaker win the Royal Rumble, then they have Braun Breaker beat CM Punk at WrestleMania 42. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe, potentially, we might get Braun Breaker crowning at this Netflix 1-year anniversary show. It would be amazing, but I really don't think, I have this feeling that WWE is not going to pull the trigger, but I really want them to. That was one of the best promos we've seen in a while. Intensity, passion, realness, just like aggressive. Like, it was just a Braun Breaker-esque, all of him wrapped into one word. See, there's no fucking way you can't look at that guy and say that's not an absolute star. He's going to main event WrestleManias. Maybe he takes over the mantle of the John Cena type of character, especially when he becomes a babyface. Really, really good stuff from Braun. Highlight of the night. I'd give him the championship on January 5th, full stop. I already give him the championship now. I can't stand CM Punk, so just boot that guy out of there. Have him lose the strap. See ya, CM Punk. Don't need you anymore. Braun Breaker's our new World Heavyweight Champion. That's a vote for me. But Triple H said this show was going to be epic. It actually would have been considered an epic show because there was some really, really, really good stuff. But since he had to run his mouth before the show, it was just a good show, way better than Survivor Series. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.